Hello and welcome to BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. Croeso i'r Gaerdydd. You join us here at the Arms Park, Cardiff University and Cardiff met here, BUCS Super Rugby round 11, and it is going to be an absolute thriller. Do not let the league table lie to you. This is a real contest. Cardiff University, the new boys this season, they are 2 wins out of the last 3. For Cardiff Met, it is 5 out of 6, and they are knocking on the door for the top of the tree, and we are counting down to kick-off in an absolute thriller. Cardiff Met versus Cardiff University. Do not go anywhere. Joining us in the studio is the chairman of Cardiff University Rugby Club, Charlie Stonehill. Welcome. Great to have you here today. And of course, it's been, I'm not going to say fairy tale stuff because you've been on the wrong end of the ledger a few times, but your boys really are making a big impact on this league.
Yeah, we came into this league knowing full well it was going to be really difficult and a massive step up from what we're used to. But that being said, I think we've put in some performances in this early part of the season that have certainly been competitive and tested teams. And, you know, in the last couple of weeks, we've gone back-to-back home wins. So the progress is there. We're getting better and better each week, we think. So hopefully we can keep that going tonight.
Well, you ruffled a few feathers early on, of course. You were up against Hartpury, the defending champions, at half-time. But then a loss came and another loss. It was 7 in a row, as Mariah Carey, of all people, sparks up on the stadium PA. But then you came so close against Durham, up in Durham. It was Northumbria. Was that the turning point of the season?
Yeah, so you mentioned those early games, and I think the consensus among the league was, Cardiff should be really happy with that, but the truth is we weren't. We were really disappointed because we feel like there were games we could have won. You know, we weren't too fussed that we were a team that's just come up. We felt that we could have won those games with, a more complete performance. It sort of lacked, a 15-20 minute period that lost the game. That being said, Northumbria away, we're 20 points up with about 20 minutes to go, away at Northumbria, which is a really tough place to go. And, we just couldn't finish it off. But, I'd say since then we've really started to get our act together, and we've been rewarded with 2 good wins. And the good win, of course, the 30 points to 3 against Leeds Beckett. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the scores, but they've put Loughborough to the sword, 44-3 today. That really does put into perspective the quality of that performance last week. Yeah, absolutely. And, the conditions were absolutely horrendous. The rain was pouring down all day. There was a really one-ended wind. So for the boys to, keep Leeds out and, not let them score any tries, but also get the bonus point win was massive. Those games are really easy to fall into the trap of playing the opposition's game plan, where they keep it tight and you play some negative rugby, but we went into that game wanting to play expansive rugby and back our skill set under those conditions. Well,
it was a fantastic result, and with that win against Loughborough, really does put it into perspective. Let's take a look at the league table then. As a result of that Leeds Beckett win, you are back at the bottom. Exeter, with the bonus point victory, takes them back to the top of the tree. But now it must feel as though you're in touching distance. Have you got an idea where you'd like to finish come the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we came into this league obviously not saying we're going to win this, we're going to win that. We're under no illusion of how difficult it was going to be. But we've got a good side that's, in years gone by, is not used to losing. So we were confident we could come into this season and finish around the mid-table mark. We certainly think that's within our capabilities.
Well, we'll talk a bit more about that fantastic side shortly. But now it is time to say thank you to our friends at Yoti. Their support is invaluable, and we couldn't have these fantastic nights like this one at Cardiff Arms Park without them.
Easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and quite versatile as well.
Thank you once again to Yoti for their continued support of BUCS Super Rugby. Back to the action this evening. Charlie, of course, you're missing. Fingers crossed this thing is repaired soon. But you've been a part of some massive occasions. You're club chairman now, but you played here early in the season. You're part of the varsity at the Liberty last year as well. What are they like as a student rugby player to be involved with?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's not something in years gone by students may have had. So the fact that students across the country can now play in fixtures like this is brilliant. You've got all your friends coming down to watch. There should be a fair few thousand people down tonight. And it's just about who can manage those surroundings better. And, in recent weeks we've gone to Headingley, Kingston Park. Obviously, we're quite familiar with this place, but I think we're starting to become more accustomed to the big games and the big venues. So, yeah, it's brilliant.
And something we speak a lot about is the relationships between the players and the coaches. What's it like, should I say, playing under Alan Wynne?
It's brilliant. He's a great coach. Sort of old school, but with like a modern twist as well. Likes his defence, likes his set piece. Gives us full license to play when we want to, and on the field it's very much us who decides what we do when we do it. You don't really get much from the coaches, which is good, because I think it makes you a better rugby player. And he just loves rugby, and he wants us to win. There's a real desire to win, and that sort of translates into how we play as well.
Well, those are the opinions of Charlie Stonehill. We'll get plenty more of those when the match kicks off, but now let's hear from Alan Wynne-Davies and Danny Milton. Alan Wynne, 2 wins out of 3. Dare I say it, you're the team to beat in BUCS Super Rugby.
Steady. Not sure about that. As I said, it's great when we can actually put our guys that we've got in specific positions on the pitch. I dare say the first 6 rounds we've had boys playing out of positions, and they've done a fucking brilliant job. But unfortunately, we are what we are at the moment. But it's great. But we've got boys back on the pitch, and they're going to be performing hopefully tonight.
Well, you're 10 games into this season now. You've said publicly, well, particularly on Twitter, that you've been competitive in 7 of them. Where does that compare to how you thought it might go?
We had a clear target before Christmas. We said we wanted to be around about the 15 to 20 points mark, and we've achieved that, which is great. And I got all credit goes to the guys and the management of getting them to that position. You're right. I think 2 occasions we've not performed, and it hurt. And we've taken on the chin. We've kept our eyes bright, and we've come back and we've performed. We've missed out on a few. I dare say Durham at home was one that got away. I also think the first game against Harpy was one that got away. So, but it takes 2 years, I feel, in this league to settle into bedding, and we haven't got that luxury. So we have to pull up trees to make sure we stay up here. But I think we're competing, and may that continue.
Leeds Beckett have put 40 points on Loughborough today. That really does put that result last week in perspective. A fantastic win.
Listen, they're well coached. As I said, they've got some cracking boys. They've got some big men there, and older guys like we spoke about earlier. And defensively, we were on song, and that every team's got an identity, and I think we forgot our identity, and that starts from our defence. All our energy comes from that, and if we can replicate what we did last week in regards to our defensive energy, and not have an emotional dump in regards to that perspective, and keep it high, then we should be in for a good show tonight.
In terms of the occasion, what an opportunity for these boys as university students to step out at Cardiff Arms Park in front of a great crowd.
That's brilliant, and the way it should be. I mean, if you've got 2 teams in the capital city of Wales, this is the perfect venue for it. We said it last time. The marketing element has been even better this year by both university this time round, and there's a couple of thousand coming here. So as I said, they've been polishing their swords and bringing their shields, and they come into Cardiff Arms Park, and it's going to be brilliant. And just hopefully we can put on a show both on the pitch, and hopefully they can behave off the pitch.
Well, let's talk about the opposition then. They had a fantastic year last year, making it all the way to Twickenham. They're there or thereabouts this year too. This is going to be a real challenge for your team tonight.
Absolutely. I think they second in the league at the moment. Again, they well drilled, they well coached. They've been flirting in and out of their championship squad, and I don't think anyone knows what their best team is. I dare say that it is here tonight, and we take that as a massive compliment. They rested most of these guys from Saturday to play today, and as I said, it's brilliant. As I said, it's a fantastic institution there. As well recorded. I went there, so it can't be half bad.
Really looking forward to this evening. Good luck, go well.
Great, thank you guys. Cheers.
Danny, another fantastic occasion under the lights here. It's a pretty good time to be an Archer.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to tonight, and Cardiff on the back of a couple of really good performances. So who knows what will happen tonight.
Well, one of the things that struck me about your team this year is you're close to the top of the league, but you're going under the radar a bit. No one's really talking about you. Does that suit you?
Yeah, we're happy with that, and hopefully again we can get another win and keep the good performances going. And there are some real good teams here. Look at Hartbury's performance last week against Exeter. So there's a lot of good teams. So we don't mind where we are.
Very often there is no substitute for experience, and in your pack in particular, all 8 were involved in the final last year. That's going to stand you in good stead.
Yeah, definitely, and some good players in there as well, starting to get some good experience, and we're looking forward to see them play tonight.
You're also going very well in the Welsh Championship. How's the balancing act between getting a good team on a Wednesday and a good team on a Saturday too?
Post upon a pool game, we decided then up to Christmas to prioritise the BUCS Super Rugby, so we had a different 15 out against Trebanos on the weekend, and they performed really well, and that's a real strength for us at the moving forward. Last year that wouldn't have happened, so we're really enjoying that aspect.
Quick word on the opposition. They are ruffling some feathers in the top tier, and they're going to be a real challenge for you tonight.
Yeah, and we love having them in here because we want the derby, we want the atmosphere, the excitement of nights like tonight, and to see them turn the corner and get those 2 wins and to beat Leeds Beckett 30 points to 3, especially considering hearing the result today, is pretty impressive. So we know we're going to have to be right at the races tonight.
Good luck tonight. Go well.
Thanks, Dave.
Cardiff Met versus Cardiff University here at the Arms Park. We're counting down to kick-off, and let's take a look at the starting 15s. Cardiff University line up with Carrie Davis, Cam Lewis and Jesse Outlaw in the front row. Alex Everett and Luke Weller in the engine room. Tom Wilson captains the side from 6. Seb Herald and Gareth Ansell join him in the back row. Into the backs, they've got the experienced halfbacks of Owen Davis and James Davis at 9 and 10. Marcus Ramage at 11. On the right wing, it's Adam Sabri with Thomas and Wall in the centres. Owen Williams is at fullback for the home team. We say the home team, it's a pretty short journey from Kincoy to Cardiff Met, and they line up with Cochrane, Howard and Seaward in the front row. Samuel, the hooker, got injured, so Howard stepping in at the last minute, but it's a very experienced back 5. Jack Arthur and Eduardo Boloco, Scott Rubasniak and Aled Ward the captain. 7 of those 8 were involved in the Twickenham final last year. Matt Marsh and Harry Johnson at 9 and 10, Zach Clow on the left wing, Jack Wright and the speed merchant Luke Northmore in the centres, Andrew Nurse and Tom Benjamin on the right wing and at full back respectively. Games on just one at 1 to 15. It is a full squad effort and there's plenty of firepower on both benches. Cardiff University with Edwards, Thompson, Barnes, O'Leary, Jennings, Davis, O'Brien and Mears at 16 to 23. For Met, it's Fielding, Kennett and Yendel 16, 17, 18. Joe Jackson's in a blank jersey, Gibson 20, Bevan 21, Bennett 22 and Barry Correa at 23. Fantastic atmosphere building here. Some people without jackets, they're absolute maniacs because it's freezing in Cardiff, but spirits are high. And we've got an extra special treat for you because it's not just myself and Charlie Stono in the commentary position. We have Alex Richardson on the touchline as well. Alex, where are you?
There's a fantastic crowd here tonight, Dave. Actually, I can barely hear myself think right now. It's so loud pitchside. Interestingly though, they've actually split the fans up completely this time. So we've got Cardiff Uni fans on this side, and then over my right shoulder they've got Cardiff Met fans. They've actually put a massive gap between them this time because the fans are getting so rowdy. They have come in full voice tonight though, and they are singing loud and proud. It's going to be a good one.
Certainly is, Alex. And I hope you brought some earplugs because it is going to be very, very loud indeed. Charlie Stonehill, you're nursing a shoulder injury. It's great to have you in the commentary box with us, but you must really be getting FOMO about not being involved tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate enough to play in this fixture back in October, and it was a fantastic occasion. So yeah, sitting here and watching everyone either on the beers or, you know, coming out to play, yeah, big FOMO.
Well, both fans are in fine voice. Let's have a little bit of a chat about that first fixture, though. You were an unknown quantity back then as Cardiff University, but now everyone knows exactly what you're about. And this is going to be some showdown between 2 top Welsh teams this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardiff Met have obviously got a track record that speaks for itself. And like you said, last time we played them, we didn't really know much about ourselves. We were still learning and finding out what this league's all about. But that being said, I think we've made a lot of progress in recent weeks to make this a much more competitive game than it was last time.
It's amazing how the atmosphere has changed as well. I think every team was almost rooting for you to get that first victory. Now you're off the mark. You're 2 wins out of 3. I don't think anyone really wants to play you.
Well, that's what we're aiming for. Those wins we felt were coming, and we're a bit overdue. But now we've got there's an atmosphere within the club and within the team that, you know, there's just a massive, overwhelming sense of confidence. And the boys going into the game tonight will feel very, very confident indeed that they can come out with a win.
Well, here come the Archers. 5 wins out of the last 6. Despite that last-minute injury to Jack Samuel, it is an incredibly experienced pack. As I mentioned before, 7 out of the starting 8 in the pack were involved in the Twickenham final last year. But what about this Cardiff team? Some incredibly exciting backs. A lot of them play at a great level. Welsh Premiership, Welsh Championship, and you put air on it all season. You're going to be looking to cause the Archers problems early on this evening. Yeah, hopefully. The back line we've got out tonight is probably the strongest it's been all year, and probably as close as it can be to our starting back line, particularly James Davis. He's an absolute magician at fly half, and he's been really good for us in the 3 years he's been here. But also Ben Thomas has come in, a fresher this year, been really, really impressive. So hopefully if we get to use those backs as much as possible, we can open up the Met defence. Well, you've been a mainstay of the second row in this rise to prominence for Cardiff University. Tell us a little bit about the boys who are filling your shirts this evening, Alex Everett and Luke Weller. So Alex is the back row forward by trade, but he's the kind of bloke that can play anywhere. He's a really, really dangerous player and one of our best players we've got. His ability to carry and get over the gain line, make dominant tackles is second to none in the team, I believe. And Luke Waller, he's more of the same, an absolute workhorse. John Darcy takes control of this one this evening, the man in the middle. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, live from the Arms Park. Cardiff in the black and red jerseys will get us underway through the co-captain Owen Davis, attacking the try line to your right-hand side. Just taking a moment to drink in the atmosphere as we're underway. That one close to the touchline, and it's volleyball style kept in. I think that could be a sign of things to come, particularly on that far side. It's going to be frenetic atmosphere. Yeah, it's a great start from Cardiff. We put a lot of emphasis into how we approach a kickoff. So it's really great to see Sabri there chasing on the wing, getting up high and competing for the ball. Well, it looked like there could be a little bit of needle, and I expect a lot of that, both verbal and physical tonight. Yeah, there's certainly no love lost between Cardiff Met and Cardiff Uni. I was actually up at the Freshers game today, and there was more of the same there, so definitely more of that to come, I think. Well, the referee and his assistant having a chat here. Oh, and now we do have the referee's mic. Already drama, we're not even a minute in. What's John Darcy got to say here?
I don't want to see people throwing around and coming in from angles. It's nothing to do with that, okay? Have a word with him, tell him to calm it down and get on with the rugby, okay? Just everyone,
Well, he's got a real job on his hands this evening, as John Darcy. I arrived in Cardiff a little bit early today, so went over to King Coyd to watch Cardiff Met 2s against Swansea University 1s. Even though you're in BSR these days, I'd imagine Swansea are a team you still keep an eye on with the varsity to look forward to. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. We've shown in recent years, we're a lot better than Swansea at this moment in time. So, our focus is on the teams we're facing in this league. Well, here's our first look at the set piece, something both teams have prided themselves on. It's gone down on this near side as Cardiff Met look to turn the screw. But in that game between Swansea 1s and Cardiff Met 2s, there was a red card for Swansea, a couple of yellows for both sides. These local derbies, they just... Well, I don't want to say boil over, but the players don't need a second excuse to get up for it, do they? Yeah, you're probably right in that regard, and especially on an occasion like this where there's, thousands of people in the ground, all have had a few beers and egging them on. It's very easy to sort of lose your head, but hopefully we won't see too much of that. And these opening scrums right in front of that vocal crowd as well. Still some moustaches, a hangover of Movember perhaps. And this is the first opportunity for Cardiff University to run with the ball, and that's a positive carry as well. Suggestion of a high tackle there, the referee happy to let it go, and Sadbury takes them into the 22. Real positive start for Cardiff University here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. James Davis gets his first touch, short ball to Rodri Wall. He gets driven backwards, but still good position here for University. Has that gone forward? Gareth Ansell, butterfingered.
Yeah, that's not great hands from Gareth there at all. But lovely little break and nice carry from Rods. Him and James link up so well. They've actually played club rugby together for, since their junior years, so they link up together really nicely. So hopefully we'll see some more of that.
And this scrum a little bit further infield, away from the vociferous support over on the far side of the Arms Park. As Alex mentioned before kickoff, they have put a rather large barrier in between both sets of supporters, which I think is a sensible decision. Free kick, Cardiff Met. And the first opportunity for Cardiff Met to clear the lines. Not really had a touch yet. Well, that's fine, play on, says the referee. You don't see that very often. Penalty being charged down. And just as Cardiff Met were expecting to have the throw in at the line out, they've now got some more defending to do. That's been turned over in a bit of space now at the blind side. Matt Marsh, the scrum half, pops that inside. Lovely support lines here. Cardiff Met into the 22. Has that gone forward? No, says the referee. Harvey Scott smashed to the floor.
Well, Cardiff definitely got away with them there.
Well, Tom Benjamin winding down the windows there, the Cardiff Met 15. And John Darcy has to keep a lid on this, but take another look. Cardiff Met sweeping forward up the blind side. Matt Marsh was eagle-eyed, both in terms of spotting the gap and the offload, but one too many. And it goes forward off Harvey Scott. But warning signs there from the Archers.
Yeah, good turnover. I'm not too sure who it was on this near side, but good turnover. And obviously Cardiff weren't expecting it, and there was space down the touchline, and some good support lines and good offloads. We've got them in a fairly good position here, so Cardiff will need to have a really solid scrum here in order to get out.
That's the voice of Charlie Stonehill, club chairman of Cardiff University, nursing a shoulder injury. Fingers crossed for you, Charlie, that everything's better following Christmas, and you don't put on too many clicks with the turkey in the Quality Street. Cardiff University win the penalty as the scrum goes down. It's on this near side again. Harry Seaward against Carrie Davis is where the trouble's happening. Just trying to think, I've been watching rugby union for 3 decades, and I don't think I've ever seen a penalty for touch be charged down before.
I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was a free kick for an early nudge in the scrum.
Okay.
And good from Gareth there. He must know the rule, which I certainly don't. But fair play.
Honesty is all we ask for, Charlie. 6.5 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, and Cardiff Met turn that one over. Got Sean Howard there in the headbands. He came in at the very last minute. Jack Samuel injured in the warm-up, but we're not sure what that injury is. As soon as we do get news, we'll report back to you. Jack Fielding has come in on the bench as Howard comes into the starting 15. That's been turned over now. Cardiff University turning the screw, and the charge down comes back University's way. Frantic start. It can't be this fast for 80 minutes, surely.
No, it's a bit scrappy at the moment. I think the atmosphere and the occasion is sort of making both sides not play their best rugby at the moment, but there's a lot of energy there, so hopefully that can be directed into some really positive rugby.
There's Alex Everett with the carry. As Charlie mentioned, plays most of his rugby in the back row, favoured at second row today. Fumbled by Benjamin, but has a little bit of space. Speaking of space, Zach Clow can get up over halfway, just manages to stay in field. And some off the ball there as well. Zach Klaus shoved back to ground, but the assistant referee happy that nothing was untoward. There's David Rabazniak. Harry Johnston trying to bring some of the big men into play. Here's Benjamin. Up over the 10-metre line. 8 minutes gone. No one really gone through the phases just yet. We have had a few stoppages. Just a reminder that our clock continues to tick. It's not linked in with the referees, but it does give us a good guideline. Aled Ward. There's Jack Arthur. Actually scored in that Twickenham final off a fantastic offload from Alex Dombrandt, who's going great guns at Harlequins these days.
Yeah, this is much better from Cardiff Met there. Slowed it down a little bit, putting some phases together and trying to test this Cardiff defence.
Darting run there, but that black and red wall looking pretty solid at the moment as Matt Marsh has another dart. Ben Thomas attempting to hold him up. Judging by the referee's motions, I think we're going to have our first pop at goal here. It almost feels as though the game needs a score, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe because it will take a bit of time out of the game. Everyone could just calm down a little bit, but it doesn't look like they're actually going for points, are they?
No. Tom Benjamin dabs a little left foot through it, and Cardiff Met are going to back themselves from close range.
Yeah. You know, that's a statement from the start of the way they want to play, especially with a good goal kicker like Harry at 10 for Cardiff Met. So we'll see what happens here.
Harry Johnston, 50 points in BUCS Super Rugby this season, a couple ahead of Owen Williams, Cardiff's full back. He's got 48. There's Howard, good ball in the middle. Cardiff University, counter drive, but now it starts to come forward for Cardiff Met. Breaks off early, they're 2 metres short, 10 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Is that a double movement? It's certainly been grounded. And the referee brings them back. Cardiff University hanging on by their fingernails, and the score remains 0-0.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he's given here. I think Cardiff Met might be a little bit unlucky.
Well, they broke away early. There's the dive for the line. It's brought down, then he reaches out. Cardiff Met think they've scored. Difficult to see from that angle. So there was the first phase. Here's the second. Brought down short, then reaches out. Referee.
I think he's given a scrum to Cardiff Met, so yeah, no idea what happened there.
And it's going forward from Cardiff Met as well, and we're going to reset. Cardiff University don't want too many of these. Is that Gethin Jenkins in the background?
Yes, I believe it is.
They photoshopped him.
I think that one might be from a few years ago.
A fantastic ground, legendary ground in Welsh rugby. You just need to walk around and see some of the faces up on billboards. Gethin Jenkins there, Martin Williams, Josh Navidi. Some huge names have played here over the years. And Cardiff University and Cardiff Met are putting on a great show as Aled Ward goes and scores. Cardiff Met 5, Cardiff University 0. The scrum's been threatening to creak in these opening 12 minutes, and that's a straightforward finish for the Cardiff Met captain.
Yeah, that's a good bit of phase play by Met off the set piece. They sort of took the speed out of the chaos of the first 5 minutes, put in a decent scrum, and just overrun the Cardiff defence a little bit. They'll be really disappointed with that Cardiff after going last week and not letting one try in to give away one in the first 10 minutes. Is quite disappointing.
Well, huge credit to Aled Ward. It was fancy footwork there. It's often an unsung skill of the number 8. But watch this as the scrum starts to go forward. It could have peeled out of the side there, but takes one last touch before picking up the bouncing ball, and that's very difficult for James Davis. A bullocking number 8. Here is Harry Johnston to add the extras. Just getting a few boos out there. But dissects the uprights, and as we approach 13 minutes, it's Cardiff Met 7, Cardiff 0. Again, let's take another look at this. With the scrum going forward like that, that's always going to be a big ask for the outside half.
Yeah, very difficult there. You saw the referee was playing advantage anyway, so that's quite a difficult one to come out of. So Cardiff really need to get deep into the Met half now, and try and get a good chase in as well.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. 13 minutes gone, and that's a clean reception for Cardiff Met. Some bumps going in on the try scorer, Alice Ward. Hacked downfield by Harry Johnston. Passed back into the 22, so he doesn't go for touch. And this one, Mike, that's a lovely kick.
Yeah, that's very well played by Owen there.
Very good judgment at distance there. Saw Tom Benjamin was a long way back. There was big space in front of him. Of course, with a kick like that, you need to be careful, because if he runs onto that and takes it at full tilt, then could be deep trouble. As it stands, Cardiff Met back towards their own 22, and it seems like a good while since we've been in this part of the pitch.
Yeah, it does. Owen's a great footballer, so to have him in the backfield for those kicks, he knows well where to kick it. So, that's really helped us out a little bit.
Good line-out ball, shortened numbers for the Archers. Sean Howard, careful not to get isolated there. Scrappy stuff, and Harry Seward definitely felt that from Cardiff University. Marsh looking to put boot to ball. Cardiff with plenty of options, as fielded by Owen Williams. He finds Ramage, and Sadbury finds Cam Lewis there, the big hooker. These front rowers love to run into space. He bulldozes Matt Marsh. Cardiff back on the front foot. And it's somehow been turned over. Feels as though Cardiff University just needs someone to calm things down at the moment. And that's a good kick over the winger.
Yeah, that's really well played by the Cardiff back three there to get outside their men and get a nice break in. But unfortunately the support's not there, and Cardiff have lost the ball again.
Cam Lewis went straight over Matt Marsh there. These front rowers lick their lips when they see a little half-back in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and Cam himself has actually got quite a bit of pace for a front row forwards, which is nice to see.
Danny Milton and Ian Gardner, the brains behind Cardiff Met. I think we're going to find out on the injuries situation with Jack Samuel at the next stoppage. Oh, that's a little dab into space as well. You said he was a magician. Oh, and the bounce doesn't quite go Cardiff University's way. But we're going to go back for the earlier stoppage, and in the meantime, let's hear from Alex, who's got an injury update on what happened with Jack Samuel before kick-off.
So Alan, just a quick word. The hookers, Jack Samuel got injured, so just give us a quick word on that. What happened there?
It's really unfortunate in the warm-up. We have to do some physical stuff in the warm-up to get the guys prepared, and unfortunately he had a bump. He's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine. So he's been preparing all day mentally as well as physically, and now he's out, so he's devastated.
And who's come in to replace him?
Yeah, Jack Fielding has come in on the bench. So Sean Howard started, and Jack Fielding will come in on the bench. Knows a great deputy. We're lucky we've got a bit of strength in depth with hookers as well. So yeah, and he hasn't played this afternoon, so he's coming in nice and fresh.
And I mean, it's a big occasion to come in on, isn't the atmosphere here, and this Cardiff clash it lives up to it every time.
Yeah, it does, but we're lucky because Jack Fielding's an experienced BUCS Super League player. He played sort of most of our games last year, so again, we're fortunate to be able to bring him in at the last minute.
Great stuff, Alan. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Cheers.
Thank you, Alex. You join us back with Cardiff University on the edge of the 22, and the chance to get some phases and get some territory as Ben Thomas tries to go around the outside, gets the offload away, just slows down, and Cardiff can begin to recover. Have the legs gone above shoulder height there? No, says the referee. Looked like it could be a little bit risky as Alex Everett bulldozes forward, and this is better phase play for Cardiff University before it just goes forward. 10 metres short, but much better from your team, Charlie.
Yeah, really nice to see a great line out. Something I'm very passionate about myself, so to see them hit a back ball and go out the back straight away is really nice to see. And the back line again doing really well, getting over the game line. It's just a shame we're just lacking that little bit of being clinical in the final 22.
Just a quick word on Jack Samuel. You know exactly what it's like to have an occasion like this pulled from underneath you, but during the warm-up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate, and you don't wish it on anyone. You know, injury is, for all the good parts of our game, injury is by certainly the worst. So, you know, hopefully he can recover quick and back in time for either next week or shortly after Christmas.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff Met 7, Cardiff University 0. Aled Ward, the only try scorer, the extras added by Harry Johnston. But this, the second or third visit to the opponent's 22 for Cardiff, maybe just lacking a little bit of composure in these key areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a little knock on there. You know, it's something that we've got to be more careful about if we want to take ourselves seriously and try and win this game. We've got to have real composure in the final part of the field.
Cardiff. Again, not able to get good footing in the scrum, which is surprising on this great surface here at Cardiff Arms Park. But my heart's always in my mouth when a front row goes down like that. No matter how much rugby changes or the scrum changes, that's one part of the game that I really wish we could amend.
Yeah, I think you've really got to love rugby to play in the jerseys 1 to 3.
Got a score update from the STV. Bath 20, Hartbury 17. I'm just waiting for confirmation. Is that a full-time score? Oh, it's just after half-time. Got very excited then. And Northumbria 21-7 up against Durham. So 2 very big scores. Remember, Bath defeated Hartbury at Gilman's just a couple of weeks ago. If they can pull off that double, they are very, very much in the mix in this BUCS Super Rugby table. As Matt Marsh boxes, sends Cardiff University back into their own half, but they've got plenty of pace. It's Marcus Ramage, youngster, played a lot of rugby in Hong Kong. It's a real try machine given space as well. Owen Williams, the fullback, takes Cardiff up over the 10-metre line. Look to the open side, step from James Davis. Spoke about that varsity match at the Liberty last year. He was actually man of the match on that occasion. One-handed snaffle there from Carrie Davis. Seven minutes to go. Bath 30, Hartbury 17. Make no mistake, Bath are contenders for this championship as Owen Williams gets the offload away. It is the hooker, Cam Lewis, gets the offload in, and Ben Thomas will go under the sticks. Cardiff University tearing the Archers to shreds, and in a moment's time we will be all square. Fantastic score from Ben Thomas, but Cam Lewis turning up on the wing, the hooker doing the business.
Yeah, a lovely try by Ben. That all comes from some really good hands in the back line again. I think it was probably Adam Savory over on that far side, getting ahead and getting that offload away. Oh, Rodri Wall, sorry. Yeah, great play from Rod there. And look at that, a really good support line from Ben.
What an offload though, he splits Matt Marsh and Tom Benjamin. That there is evidence of how much the front row roles have changed, because even at the top level in the 90s, you're not getting hookers with that kind of vision. Tiptoes up the line times that to perfection.
Absolutely, and as a fresher, you know, Cam's really impressed this year. A couple of weeks ago against Northumbria, he was on the receiving end of a crossfield kick from James, and you know, ran it in to score. So you know, his ability to play on the loose is something that's really almost like consolidated that shirt for him this year. So hopefully he can keep it up.
Cardiff Met 7, Cardiff University 7. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Phenomenal atmosphere here. They're dancing, the music stopped and they're still going for it.
That's the ladies rugby team down there. So.
What I will say is, whoever Cardiff Met have brought as their announcer is probably the worst I've heard at any level of rugby. Sounds like a third-rate garage MC, but here we go. Game on at the Arms Park. Cardiff Met 7, Cardiff University 7. And we said before the game that if Cardiff University could get parity up front, then this was very much a contest. And other than a couple of scrums, I think they'll be pretty happy with how they've gone from 1 to 8. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I said, Cardiff Met did really well to sort of control the pace after that first 5 minutes of chaos and get the try. But Cardiff responded really well through good set piece and the line out especially.
That Marsh goes up the blind side, always keen to have a snipe.
Yeah, it's a little bit high from Alex Everett, I think, on this near side. It's a really good chase by Cardiff. Just needed to drop the body height a little bit.
Just want to take another look at this. Cam Lewis bursts the tackle, then times that to perfection. That's going in the tries of the week, you know that, don't you?
I hope so. Yeah, we put a real focus on our catch pass this year, making sure everyone in a shirt, whether you're a forward or a back, can have the confidence to give that pass when it's on. So fair play to Cam, that's a really good piece of skill there.
Worth noting, lovely conditions here at Cardiff Arms Park this evening. However, it is pretty chilly and there's a bit of a breeze picking up. Cardiff Met are playing into it in the first half, so it's blowing away to your left-hand side. Another look at this, Cardiff Met using the full width. We've given them credit, or given you credit, should I say, Charlie, all season for the way you've looked to put air on the ball, no matter what the conditions are, and no matter who you're playing. Yeah, I think it's important that you've got a style of play and an identity.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we've been trying to do from the start. I just think a couple of times in the opening fixtures we tried to do that in the wrong areas. So hopefully with James and Owen back in now, we can sort of control that game a little bit better.
There's Aled Ward, the try scorer. Rabazniak there, adding a little bit of weight, and Cardiff University a little bit too eager at the breakdown. While we wait for the decision on the penalty, where Cardiff Met are going to go for the sticks this time, your thoughts on Bath defeating Hartpury? Massive.
Yeah, really big result. Obviously Hartpury had that big win last week away at Exeter, but I said to you earlier, Bath have looked really, really impressive, so it was always going to be a tough game for Hartpury, but that's quite a convincing victory, it sounds like.
Feels like Bath have evolved. Last season a lot went through the forwards. They scored a lot of tries through Tom Doughty, who controlled those mauls really well. But this year they found a back game, and they are, well, you'd be a fool to bet against them any week.
Yeah, well, we haven't actually played them yet, so it'll be really interesting to see when that comes around in the new year. But we actually played them last year in the cup competition, and their back three are particularly very dangerous and a very big forward pack as well.
Here's Harry Johnston to take his personal tally up to 55 for the season. Certainly got the line. And it's got the legs. Cardiff Met 10, Cardiff University 7.
Yeah, an interesting decision not to go for corner there like they did last time. The Cardiff forwards did very well to defend it, so I don't know if that's playing into the decision at all. Maybe that's sort of like a mental victory for the Cardiff boys.
Just over a quarter of the way through this, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. An occasion here at the Arms Park that's living up to its top billing. Big shot there from Alex Everett. Plays a lot of rugby in the back row, but does look a pretty hefty specimen.
Yeah, he's, like I said, everyone in training very rarely wants to go up against him when we're doing a contact session. His ability to use his strength is is very impressive. He always gets over the gain line, always makes dominant collisions.
A lovely shimmy there from Ansel to beat the first tackle. It's a try scorer, Ben Thomas, thought about the kick then and dropped his shoulder and managed to make another 5 metres. James Davis switches play, Rodri Wall. Outside centre, looks lively on his feet as Rod Wall. More width on it here from Cardiff, and Owen Williams gets the ball away again. Sadbury bundled into touch, but back into the 22.
Yeah, really nice to see from Cardiff. James really controlling that back line and having the confidence to go wide when it's on. It's really nice to see.
Like a 3-on-1 there. Cardiff very vocal in defence. In fact, it was the hooker Sean Howard calling men out, and Sadbury wearing 14, but spending a lot of time on the left wing at the moment. Caught people's attention in the playoffs last year, where he managed to get a couple of tries en route to Cardiff University's berth in this top tier. It's a bit scrappy from Cardiff Met. As Cam Lewis goes a little bit too high. Cardiff Met to steady the ship. 25 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. 1 try apiece, just a Harry Johnston penalty separates the sides. But every time Cardiff Met kick deep, Cardiff University look very organised for their return as Seb Herald carries that one in the head guard. Could be numbers here, but it just goes to ground. Big miss pass there, there was 4-on-2.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intended or not. Rods didn't really seem to know much about it, but what you were saying about the kick return, we've got a really dangerous back three, and you know, when teams kick to us, we see that as a really good opportunity to attack.
So Harold bust the tackle there, just couldn't quite keep his footing, and the grubber kick back into the 22. James Davis kicking very intelligently. He's got quite a bit of heavy strapping on that right knee. Is that anything to be worried about?
No, I don't think so. You know, he was out for the start of the season with a knee injury, but he's been firing on all cylinders since he's been back. So I'm sure that's, you know, nothing to worry about at all.
Well, that's been lost forward. Now's the opportunity. Very rare we see a breakdown in communication with this Cardiff Met pack, but they've coughed the ball up and Cardiff are back on the edge of the 22. Advantage coming, so a free shot at it here. Ben Thomas. Oh, what a shot from the big number 12.
Yeah, shame he lost the ball there. I think it was probably on if he broke that tackle.
That's David Rabazniak, who he's gone through as well. Now, what's the decision, club chairman?
I believe it's go to the corner. Yep.
Just a reminder for those of you watching at home, Cardiff University are currently sitting at the bottom of the table. They're playing the team that lost the league on bonus points last year and lost the final to a try 3 minutes into stoppage time, and they're turning down the opportunity for 3 points because they believe they can get 5. If that is not an advert for this standard of rugby, then I don't know what is. Well, Alex Everett picks up the pieces, so the ball just goes long. And this might suit University here as Luke Weller drops the shoulder, runs straight into an Archer's wall. 5 metres short, bang in front of the sticks as we approach half an hour.
Yeah, it's a real shame from Cardiff there. Not the best line out. We sort of lost it and couldn't set up the drive there. But I think the intention is very much to go for that direct game plan of get it out, get that line out going, because as shown in the last game we played here, you know, our line out drive is a very, very powerful weapon. You know, 3 points is almost like a giveaway for Cardiff Met there.
The scoreline remains Cardiff Met 10, Cardiff University 7. Another look at this set scrum. Neither back five has really wanted to move. When it's dropped, it's been in the front row. Matt Marsh gets it in, and that's a better scrum from Cardiff University, but then the referee pins Cardiff.
Yeah, I think Carey lost his bind on the far side there.
And a real let-off for Cardiff Met because they've got the chance to clear. They're not getting a great deal of distance on these clearance kicks. It's bitten off quite a lot there. Just taking a look at the assistant referee's flag there. It is blowing a little bit more. We've got some protection up here in the stands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Cardiff Met will be pretty grateful for that penalty. They haven't really had the ball much for the last 5-10 minutes or so. So I imagine they'll try and set up a drive here and look to play.
Cardiff's response since falling 7 behind has been exemplary. Oh, and they've turned that one over, or have they? They've got a hand on it, and it's gone forward. Here we go.
Yeah, great pressure from Gareth at the start of the front of the line out there.
And the set piece is something that the Archers really pride themselves on, and they've dominated a lot of teams, both in the scrum and the line-out this season. 7 victories, 3 defeats going into today's match. But in terms of form, there's not a lot between the two sides. It's a much more solid scrum. Oh, 33-31. Hartbury are not done yet. Maybe we spoke too soon, but Cardiff come again, just losing the footing going into the 22. Seems like every time we have a score update, Cardiff University threaten to score. Charlie Stonehill says keep the score updates coming. Half an hour gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. James Davis looks to bring the big men in, and Jesse Outlaw spills that one forward.
Yeah, it's good defence by Cardiff Met there.
Bath 33, Hartbury 31. Have we spoken too soon? It was a 2-point victory in a very different game at Gilman's a couple of weeks ago, 13-11 on that occasion. Hartbury missed a conversion that would have equalised with the last kick of the game. Every week there's a thriller, at least one thriller.
I think it's a real testament to the league that that's the case, and just how unpredictable it is. You know, like you said, we're bottom of the league, and you know we've lost our first 8 games, but it's certainly not showing here, and I don't think that's a reflection on how we've been playing. But the fact that Hartbury managed to pull it back is a real testament to how unpredictable it is.
A solid scrum that time. Stays up, and Cardiff Met put boot to ball. Has gone end over end, and Owen Williams has to go all the way back. Picks that one up the tram lines to his opposite number, Tom Benjamin. Footwork from Benjamin, but he needs to be careful not to get isolated here. Seb Herald looking to turn that one over. Here's Northmore, gets away from the first and the second tackle. Luke Northmore pins his ears back for the corner. What a try! Oh, is he just short? Well, if he is, that is one of the tackles of the season from Cardiff University. What's the referee got to say? Try's been awarded! Well, when Northmore got his hands on that ball, I was going to say he's had a quiet half an hour, but this is why he's one of the most lethal exponents in BUCS Super Rugby. That try has been awarded, and that is an absolute travesty. That's Charlie Stonehill is on his feet in disbelief, and Luke Northmore has got away with one, and I think the smile on the prop forward's face says it all. He'd done so much hard work, got through the first tackle, stepped the second. It was a fabulous chase from Owen Davis.
Yeah, you know, that's really tough to take that one. He does exceptionally well. Don't take anything away from him there to get where he does, but you know, you can see a clear knock on there. That's very poor from the linesman, who's clearly not up with play. But you know, that's the nature of the game. You know, these things happen, and it will be interesting to see how Cardiff respond here. But you know, that's really not good to see at all.
Well, very often in derby matches at all levels there are contentious decisions. Here's Harry Johnston going to add insult to injury. That's a fabulous conversion. Cardiff Met 17, Cardiff University 7.
Yes,
And Luke Northmore, as we mentioned, did phenomenally well, and that's how dangerous he can be. But we called the try. Our view of the first touchdown was the same as yours, but the fantastic camera work right on the spot to see the ball not grounded, and I think BUCS, and particularly Cardiff University, will be taking that one to the WRU to have a word with the officiating.
Well, you know, like I said, these things happen. The officials have a really tough job, and from a Cardiff perspective, that's really frustrating. But what goes around comes around. You know, we've certainly been on the right end of these decisions in the past, so you know, it's nothing we can do about it now. We just have to get on with it and, you know, try and make a good response like we did last time.
A very statesmanlike answer there from the chairman of Cardiff University Rugby Club, Charlie Stonehill. I'll keep you all up to date on social media as to whether it's quite such an eloquent answer post-match. But the scoreline is Cardiff Met 17, Cardiff University 7, BUCS Super Rugby, presented by IOTI, with around 5 minutes of the first half to go. That one's gone forward. Or has it, says the referee. It's back with Cardiff University anyway. Here's the outside half, James Davis, looking to bring Ben Thomas into play, surging into the 22, picked off by Tom Benjamin, who puts boot to ball and the foot races on at the other end. Well, Thomas again showing how dangerous he can be in open space, and Cardiff have gone quickly and they could be inviting a little bit of pressure on themselves here. But this shows the pace that they want to put on the game as Tom Wilson, the skipper, looks to steady the ship. Perhaps an offload too many there from the inside centre.
Yeah, you know, he's got 3 men outside him, but he makes a decision to go, and I think he's just got to keep his head down there. If he's going to go, he's just got to go a little bit earlier. But you know, this is great play from, I think that was Roger on the far side, to get the ball in quick and play at a tempo that Met aren't perhaps comfortable playing at, and it's resulted in a penalty.
We'll have some final scores from around the ground. This one of 5 matches. The early kickoff leads Beckett. Comfortable. Oh, that is a final score as well. Bath 33, Hartpury 31. Bath have defeated Hartpury twice in 3 weeks, both by 2 points, and that's a result to send shockwaves through the league. Bath mean business. Oh, and in the battle for the northeast as well, Northumbria, probably the most difficult team to predict in this league, have defeated Durham 24-7. You've played Northumbria this season. You were unlucky at their place. You beat them down here. What do you make of that result?
Yeah, quite surprising actually, with no disrespect to Northumbria. They are a very good side, but the Durham sides that we faced, you know, have been really tough, and you know, I don't think anyone would have really predicted that. Durham have been really solid, especially at home. So to lose quite heavily like they have done there is quite surprising. But again, it goes back to the unpredictability of the league.
From a neutral perspective, that's one of the things I really like about Durham, is they can beat anyone on their day. But every now and then the wheels come off a little bit, and it makes them so difficult to predict. They really are a fascinating team. A great exponent of BUCS Super Rugby, presented by IOTI, as we count down to half-time here at the Arms Park. Cardiff University will be looking to the big referee in the sky to level it up before half-time, but that one not quite straight. Rowan Davies, the scrum half. A little shake of the head from him. And important for Cardiff University to not let that decision affect the way they play the remainder of this match.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the good thing about it is not many people saw it. Like I said, when we first saw it, we weren't really sure. So I'm hoping, you know, that won't affect them too much.
Khalid Ward goes up the blind side. Good hands there from Matt Marsh. So no look pass, and not the best of one, but Cardiff Met have had a little bit of joy up that blind side. In terms of territory though, Cardiff University have arguably had the better of it. Harvey Scott. As Johnston switches inside to Jack Wright. Dancing feet from Johnston. Counting down to half-time. Remember, our clock not linked in with the referees. Sean Howard there, leading with the head. Just be careful going into contact like that. Here's Northmore, the try scorer.
Yeah, it's really good defence by Cardiff there. I think that's half-time as well.
Well, a frenetic opening 40 minutes here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. It had a little bit of everything, but the ledger reads Cardiff Met 17, Cardiff University 7. Charlie Stonehill, your thoughts on those opening 40 minutes?
Well, I think the scoreline is very similar to what it was at half-time in the reverse fixture earlier on in the season. But I think, to be honest, I think Cardiff will be the happier in terms of performance with that in their first half. I think a lot of Cardiff's territory has come from the backs playing really well and breaking the line, whereas Cardiff Met haven't really struggled with the Cardiff defence too much. It's more the ill discipline and the lack of reaction on the turnover that's got Cardiff Met in this.
Cardiff Met 17 and Cardiff University 7. Let's hear from Alex Richardson on the touchline.
So Alan, a pretty physical first half. How disappointing were you to see the boys concede that try just for that time?
Yeah, disappointed for the boys. Done well, caught us on the blind twice, so we need to sharpen up on that area really. But I think we had a better first half, just got to tighten up on those little mistakes.
And what will be the message now to the players at half time?
Just keep it the way it was, but tighten up the defence on the blind side really, and exert the pressure and be more patient.
Great stuff, well best of luck in the second half. Thank
you very much, thank you.
Alan Flowers there, noticing that Cardiff Met caught Cardiff University on the blind side a couple of times, but he alluded to the fact there as Santa Claus is over there on the far side, delivering goodness knows what. Let's take a look at the tries, but he said that Cardiff University had the better of that opening 40 minutes. Is that something that you'd agree with, Charlie Stonehill?
Yeah, I definitely would. I think, Met calmed down the chaos with the scrum. They had a lot of phase play before that, which got them into that position, so fair play to them, they did really well. But after that, Cardiff responded really well, and I think a lot of the territory that Cardiff have got has come from penetrating that game line and really troubling the Cardiff Met defence, whereas Cardiff Met's territory and their sort of position on the field, when they are in our position on the field, has come from some silly high tackles or offside penalties.
Well, Santa Claus has got a microphone in his hand and he's trying to work this crowd and they are not giving him anything. Aled Ward made it 5-0. That was converted by Harry Johnston. But this is a look at the Cardiff University opening try. When they cut loose, it really is great to watch.
Oh, it is. And like I said, I think a lot of that is down to James and the way he controls the back line, but there's a lot of individual talent, and when that all sort of works coherently together, it's a really exciting prospect to watch.
When Cam Lewis is putting a show reel together when he leaves Cardiff University and he's looking for a club, this offload is absolutely going on it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic bit of skill, and like I said, we put a real emphasis on all players in all positions being able to do stuff like this. So yeah, he's done really well there.
Something we didn't mention before though was the way Rodri Wolf fixed the two defenders to create that space.
Yeah, he did really well there. He makes this guy here just bite in, which creates that space, and then Cam, I don't think those two defenders are expecting him to get that offload away, so trying to just smash him into touch, but he does really well.
That was 7-all. Now this is the controversy. Luke Northmore does incredibly well, gets through Seb Herald, then reaches for the corner. Brilliant chase back there from Owen Davis, who made a try-saving tackle. Gareth Ansell celebrating the drop, but this is the angle. I can't see how this has been given. Keep a look. We're going to take another look at that shortly, but let's take a look at the assistant referee. As you said, we don't like to criticise them. They've got a very tough job, but the referee conferred with his AR and gave the try as a result of that confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on the replay, the TMO is miles behind the player. Look how far back he is. There's no way he can see this grounding, or indeed the knock on. So they've just given the attack the benefit of the doubt there. he recovers the ball and puts it down now, which is what I think the touch official sees. You know, unfortunately, he hasn't seen.
Well, if we can have another look at that exact replay, watch the AR. He's not even looking at the ball. So here we go. Here's Northmore. Fantastic work.
Yeah, he does really well here. Don't take that away from him. He's done really well.
Well, in fact, he was looking. He saw the ball bobble up, but then when the grounding was there, he was looking at the referee.
Yeah, and I think if you watch him here, I think he points towards the Cardiff defence. So I don't know if he almost second-guessed himself, but you know, like I said, these things happen. Really difficult job. It is what it is, and that's what they'll be saying in there now.
Well, Cardiff University have 40 minutes to make it right. Half-time here at the Arms Park. Cardiff Met 17, Cardiff University 7. Let's take a look at some of the best tries from the previous round.
Durham have reorganised well. Big hits from fouls, upsets the play, and here's a chance now. Fly hack through by Fitzhardy. It's fancy footwork. Through the gap, who feeds inside to Gaetano Branco. Colin fishes it out. He goes wide, force it, puts on the toe for the crossfield. He finds Lewis, who collects and dots down for his second try.
Tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
Well, despite the conditions last week, some phenomenal tries scored. As always in BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. And those are the results from last week. Exeter 0, Hartpury 25. Exeter, the first team in the BUCS Super Rugby era to be nilled at home. Cardiff University with a bonus point win against Leeds Beckett. Cardiff Met triumphant over Northumbria. Loughborough slipping up to Bath, but that's not looking like a bad result. They go 3 from 3 in their assault at the top of the league, and Nottingham Trent 21, Durham 30. This week's results, this is the 5th of 5 games. Leeds Beckett sending a message. I don't think they took particularly kindly to going to the foot of the table last week, and they've responded with a 44-3 demolition of Loughborough. Nottingham Trent 15, Exeter 28, a bonus point win with the last play of the game for Exeter. They go back to the top of the tree, and Bath go into 3rd place, I believe, with a bonus point win over Hartpury. 2 bonus points for the champions, but that is 2 defeats in 3 matches for the men from Gilman's. Durham losing the battle of the North East against Northumbria 24-7. A brilliant win there for Daz Fern's men. And at half-time here at the Arms Park, Cardiff Met 17, Cardiff 7. Matches coming up after Christmas as BUCS Super Rugby prepares for the Christmas break. We are back underway at the end of January. Cardiff Met versus Exeter, then Hartpury versus Exeter. What a mouth-watering fixture that is. Hartpury losing, of course, today to Bath, but dismantling Exeter at Topsham last week. They'll be looking for revenge on February the 6th. Well, the teams making their way back out, the crowd getting into it. What I will say is, it is phenomenally loud here. I think they've broken the volume control on the PA here at the Arms Park.
Yeah, well, you know, it's always a brilliant atmosphere down here, and it's the kind of stadium where you don't actually need that many people in here for there to be a good atmosphere. It really, you know, the acoustics in here are really, really good. But as we can see here, there's loads of people here, which is great to see, all enjoying the occasion.
Well, there are a good few thousand here at the Arms Park. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. There are Cardiff Met back out first, ready for the second half, leading 17-7. What do you think Alan Wynne-Davies and the coaching staff would have said to this Cardiff University team at half-time?
I think it would be pretty positive. Like I said before, I think in terms of the performance, we had the better first half. We've had more of the territory. You know, we were just undone by a very good set of phase play followed by a scrum. And you know, we won't talk about what happened down there on the wing, but in terms of territory and you know, making yards, I think we're doing a much better job. If we can just improve a bit of composure in the final third of the pitch, I think this game is certainly for the taking.
The Archers will get us underway in the second half. Harry Johnston, ball in hand, attacking the try line to your right-hand side. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. The Cardiff derby live from the Arms Park. I've got a feeling there are a few twists and turns left in this one. Alex Everett receives the first kickoff. And that's the first box kick, the first challenge for the high ball. It's not gone forward off Cardiff Met, no, says the referee. Will Gibson wearing 20 in the scrum cap, he's come on in the second half. Number 20 for Cardiff Met. Cast my eye across and look for some more replacements from either side. Well, Alex Richardson is trotting up and down the touchline. Hopefully we're going to hear from her. In fact, we're going to hear from her now, and I wonder if she's got an opinion on that Luke Northmore try.
So Danny, the try for Cardiff Met just before half-time, bit of a controversial one?
Well, from where we we're just over the moon. He got over the line, so a great finish by Luke Northmore. So we're really pleased with that, because we thought Cardiff Uni, they've done their homework and they put us under tremendous pressure, and I think we feel like we've got out of jail with that scoreline.
Are you pleased with the scoreline though, 17-7?
Yeah, very much so. To have probably not had the best of the 20, certainly the last 25 minutes of the first half, but to get over the line and 17-7 up, couldn't really be happier considering how well Cardiff Uni played.
Well, I think Met have actually just about to score, but best of luck in the second half, Danny. Thanks for talking to us.
Well, Danny Milton said he was over the moon there, and I'm not surprised, because when he sees the replay back, I think even he'll admit that Luke Northmore got away with one. Cardiff Met with the penalty and a massive opportunity to put some good phases together as well, and this is just the start they'll want for the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they managed to get down into the 22 with that penalty we gave away. But you know, Cardiff dealt really well with the line-out drive. Unfortunately, I think it was Cam, the hooker, again offside. So you know, like I said, we really need to get rid of those silly little penalties, which is giving Met, like Danny said, to get out of jail at the moment.
Oh, they've gone up the blind side. This could be a second score for Aled Ward, but he's dropped just short. Excellent defensive work from Cardiff University, but they have got their work cut out here at the start of the second half. Ball goes short to Jack Arthur. Huge upper body on the second row. His second row partner, Boloko, who scored in the return fixture earlier in the season. A galloping try, much shorter range. This time it's down. It's a try, and it's Cardiff Met 22, Cardiff University 7.
Yeah, really patient play from Cardiff Met there, keeping it tight and sticking to what they must be good at. You know, it's just a shame that's come resulted again from lack of discipline from the Cardiff side.
Well, Cardiff University have been able to put tempo on it out wide. Cardiff Met have put tempo on it in these close areas. Well, Sean Howard's come up with it there, but I don't think he was the man who dotted down. Another straightforward conversion. Harry Johnson adds the extras. Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 7, BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. But not necessarily because I'm sat next to Cardiff University's club chairman, but it doesn't feel like a 3-score match.
No, and without sounding too biased, I do agree. Met have definitely started the second half better, but like I said, it's just those final margins in the final third, and just a bit of control and that discipline, and giving away slightly less penalties. I think Cardiff can really pose a threat.
James Davis puts up a high bomb. Good take by Tom Benjamin over on the far side. That halfway line in front of the two benches, it's almost the neutral zone because there's no supporters between the 10 metre and the 22. You'll be getting either barked with or barked at, depending on what colour jersey you're wearing. As we approach 5 minutes gone of the second half, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff win the penalty.
Yeah, really good control of the game plan there, and that's something we slightly lacked in the previous game. We would have decided to play and potentially lost the ball, but getting the kick and gaining a few yards and sending that kick chase has really proved beneficial. And that's a fantastic nudge.
It's the Cardiff Met bench. They were pretty nervous going into this one. Again, a reflection of the quality of this BUCS Super Rugby division. Very rarely will one of the top sides playing the team at the bottom of the table be nervous going into what is essentially a home fixture.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cardiff Arms Park is essentially a home fixture for us as well. I think it's actually closer than Glen Romney, so we're more than happy to play here, and we've got a lot of support as well.
Sam Lewis has the ball at the back. Referee says that's one they've had, and now they look to put some pace on it. There's James Davis with the inside ball. Going to split that gap. Johan Davis, who's come on wearing 21. Owen Williams. Full width of the pitch now for Cardiff to work with. It's number 8, Gareth Ansell. 10 metres short. Here's Everett. Now an opportunity for Cardiff, their first of the second half. Tiptoe back inside there from Rodri. Wall gets away from a couple of defenders. Still going towards the line is Wall. He's not going to ground it, he's a metre short. Fantastic work from the outside centre as Sadbury just has to check his run before getting clattered by some Archers defenders. Cardiff looking confident here. Here's Thomas.
I think Cardiff have the advantage, so I'll be expecting to go wide here.
And it does. Davis with a loop pass picked off by Cardiff Met, but Harvey Scott gets pulled back.
Yeah, really nice play from Cardiff here. Really nice carry from Rod. Like I said, it's him and James linking up really well.
Tell you what, Matt Marsh had to make a sharp tackle there.
Yeah, he's not the biggest of lads, Rod, but he is incredibly strong and got great feet as well, so he's a really dangerous player to have in the back line.
Something I've noticed about Ben Thomas is he's got that stop and start. He's able to generate a huge amount of power off a couple of steps.
Yeah, absolutely, and at the same time he's really aware of what's around him, so he knows he didn't have a lot of men outside him there. I think it was just Seb. So no, if he gives that pass, there's a strong chance we could get turned over, and he made the right decision to carry, knowing he had support with him.
Cardiff University with the put-in at the scrum in almost an identical position to the one where Aled Ward scored the opening try for the Archers. Keep your eye on Gareth Ansell in the white boots at the back of the scrum. Is he going to have a go himself? The Archers putting the pressure on at the scrum. Ansell reaching in but not able to get the ball out before the referee wants to reset this one.
Keep straight.
And it's been great to hear from Alex Richardson up and down the touchline. It's given a fantastic insight. She's so busy just marching up and down looking for stories. And she's got to the head of this controversy as well, not just with the injury but with that Luke Northmore try. If you have just joined us, Cardiff Met opened the scoring, Cardiff University then equalised. Since then it's been 2 unanswered tries and a penalty for the Archers, but the second, Luke Northmore in the corner, definitely not grounded. Cardiff Met the only scorers in the second half, but here go Cardiff University. Rod ball around the outside. Has that gone forward off Cardiff Met? Referee doesn't have his hand down.
I think we might see a card here. This is another. There's a lot of penalties in the 22 from Met.
Knock on. Okay.
And he is calling for the knock-on. Barry Correa, wearing 23, is on for Cardiff Met. Yeah, it's gone forward off Tom Benjamin. I think he was attempting to make the tackle there. If it was a yellow card, would have been a harsh one.
Yeah, it's just another repeat offence. You know, breaking. You know, he was open there. If that ball gets to Marcus on the wing, but you know, a really good opportunity to attack off the line out now with that penalty.
10 minutes gone, half an hour remaining. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cam Lewis, good arrow from him, goes to ground early. He does it, they've continued on here and Lewis has got his hands on it at the back. It's not going anywhere. Archers desperately calling defenders out to the open side. And Ben Thomas has a scramble himself. And now there's the chance to put width on it, perhaps needs one more, and Tom Benjamin makes an excellent cover tackle to temporarily snuff out the threat. Johan Davis being held up, needs to keep going forward, and the scrum half, Owen Davis, adds some weight to take it to ground. Important contribution from the 9. And the Archers crowd really getting behind the boys.
Yeah, that's really good defence from Cardiff Met. Probably the wrong option to go out the back there. Johan didn't really have much support with him. You know, that's a really good tackle from Met, who hold him up really well.
We now have Johan Davis and Owen Davis on for Cardiff University. I'll do my utmost to differentiate between the two. Johan wearing 21, Owen the scrum half at 9. I think all of those supporters are huddling together for warmth like the Penguins do in the North Pole, because it is bitterly cold here at the Arms Park.
Don't get any ideas.
Cardiff Met taking their time to clear their lines here. In the first half, Cardiff University had the better of the territory, but in terms of clear-cut opportunities, there weren't a great deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, it's just lacking that final bit of composure again from Cardiff in the 22, and that's resulted in, you know, some good defence from Met, and you know, hopefully we can turn this scrum over here. But if not, then Met should exit pretty well, and we'd have to start again essentially.
Archer's free kick. Matt Marsh wanted to go quickly there as we have another look at the Cardiff Met, the brains of the operation. Ian Gardner, Danny Milton. And I think they'll be pleased to have this cushion here, no matter how fortuitous it was. Not a huge amount of distance on that clearance kick either, and another opportunity for Cardiff Uni. Really, they'll want to start to close this score gap as quickly as possible, though. They won't want to spend too long this many points behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, on the field, you've got no real perception of time, to be honest. So the sooner we get a try, the better. As well, I think it would sort of, you know, get rid of the energy that Met have got if we can take a score and make this game a bit more close.
Here come Cardiff University then, again looking to put width on it. Lovely pick up by Rodri Wall. Dips and goes, can't free the hands, but again he gets over the gain line. Quick ball, good ball, Sadbury. Tackled by Northmoor. Hands on this from Cardiff Met. This has to go one way or the other, and it goes the way of the Archers.
Yeah, that's really good strength over the ball there from Cardiff Met.
Looked like it was coming, but the score remains Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 7. And it's time to go back pitch side once again with Alex Richardson.
Sorry, 2 seconds, it's just been called. So Alan, after a long pressure amount of time in Cardiff Met 22, how frustrating is it to not see the boys come away with some points?
It is frustrating, and obviously it's a bit of consistency as well at the moment, because it's one way and not the other way at the moment. So as you said, it's a great game, it's a great spectacle, the fans are obviously enjoying it. It is frustrating at the moment because the guys are working extremely hard, but as I said, hopefully now I think we've got about a window now, about 5 minutes to break the duck on this, and then hopefully we can be back in the game.
And how do you go about getting back in the game now, breaking down the Cardiff Met defence?
I think at the moment we go wide. We seem to be giving them problems a little bit, so at the moment we can't secure past 3 phases. To be fair, their back row's playing the breakdown extremely well, and we're not dealing with it. But like I said before, as I said, hopefully we can actually deal with it now and go wide, and we are causing them a lot of problems on the edges, so hopefully we can continue to do that.
Alan, well, good luck for the rest of the game. Thanks for speaking to us. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Alex. It is a very brave pitchside reporter who goes to speak to a coach whose team is 3 scores behind. But Alan Wynne-Davies, pragmatic and honest as ever. He's one of BUCS Super Rugby's favourite philosophers as Cardiff Uni training ground 1. Carrie Davis and Cam Lewis hooking up. And Alan Wynne there talking about the width that Cardiff do so well, but with that width you need composure in those key areas.
Yeah, I think he's just sort of repeated what we've just said. You know, a lot of possession and territory for Cardiff Met. Oh, I think we've seen a yellow card here, are we?
Well, you did say it was coming. Constant problems at the breakdown, constant infringements, and it's Eduardo Bolocco who's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin.
That's massive for Cardiff now. This line-out should really start functioning a bit better than it has, especially the line-out drive. But going back to what Alan Wynne was saying, yeah, it's just really, it is frustrating as a Cardiff player and as a Cardiff supporter. You know, seeing that amount of possession and not coming away with the points is frustrating. But hopefully now, you know, we're in a very good position. We can come away with some points here.
Eduardo Bolocco sent to the bin. 56 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff University knocking on the door, and now they have the chance for a catch and drive. Talk about split loyalties. Bolocco's other half is a Cardiff University student.
Wow.
Saying that, Alan Wynne went to Cardiff Met.
We've got more than one coach in our coaching staff who went to Cardiff Met.
Fraternising behind enemy lines. Bolocco sent to the bin, and he's a real big physical presence in their pack, both in the set piece and in open play as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that run he made down that line in the previous game.
Here we go. First job done. There are a few Archers' bodies on the floor, but Cardiff Met turning it on here. Is it grounded? Not this time. Luke Weller held up. Agonisingly close for Cardiff University. Referee eagle-eyed on this one. It must just be inches short. We've complimented them on the pace they put on the ball. You're not getting through there, Jesse Outlaw. And it's been held up over the line. Outlaw trying to go over the top.
Yeah, they've done very well there, Cardiff Met.
It must have been so close on the first phase. A few men in black and red thought that had been grounded.
Yeah, not a great decision by Jesse Outlaw there to go over the top. It's better off just taking a bit of time, get some support, and try and get a bit wider on that pick and go.
Cardiff Met making some replacements in light of the yellow card. Scrum half replacement, Matt Marsh. Did well with a few snipes. Sean Howard, of course, came in as an injury replacement, so Jack Fielding will be coming on at hooker. And number 21, Ellis Bevan, has got 20 minutes or so to make an impact on this one. Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 7. Cardiff Uni put in at the scrum, and this is a good position for them as well. Sean O'Brien wearing 22, he's in at second receiver at the moment. Ben Thomas has left the field of play.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of weight missing in this Met pack now, but Boloko's gone off. Be interesting to see if that can, if the Cardiff pack can take advantage of that here.
It's a huge opportunity to do so. Another contribution from the announcer. So no number 8 in here for Cardiff Met. Ellis Bevan, much physically bigger than Matt Marsh. You wonder if they brought him on to add a little bit of weight in those breakdown situations.
Yeah, potentially. They've done really well at the breakdown, actually, Matt. They've got a couple of turnovers. I think potentially in the scrum it might help them a little bit with Boloko being off.
Just the one score in the second half. 24-7. It was 17-7 at half-time. As it stands, this will actually suit Cardiff Met, given that the clock's ticking the entire time. And since the yellow card, not had any play. Owen Davis waits, ball comes in this time. Scrum breaks up, but Cardiff University looking to put width on it early, and James Davis, the little dab for the corner, the chase, who's the favourite here? Oh, it's just gone forward. Fingertip stuff from Johan Davis. Is he tackled off the ball? And if so, is it a penalty try?
That should be a penalty try, surely.
What's the referee got to say here as it threatens to boil over once again? Johan Davis had the ball in 2 hands. Well, let's take a look at this again. The referee's given a knock on. It was a delicious dab for Davis to chase. Got fingertips on it. The tackle was made by Tom Benjamin, but Davis was never in control of the ball. We've seen those given both ways, but all the 50-50s, Cardiff University, not on the right end.
Yeah, it feels like the Swalek Bowl all over again. But you know, that one's 50-50, like you said. You know, you have those go with you, you have them go against you. You know, the boys just got to react. We spent too much time in this area of the field and haven't come away with points yet, so we really need to get on with it.
Well, keep your eye on that counter in the top left of your screen. That's the yellow card of Eduardo Boloko. Similar to the overall game clock, it is not tied in with the referee's watch, but it'll give you a pretty good idea of where we're at. And Cardiff Met win the penalty at the scrum, even a man down. And there's a few spectators there enjoying both the rugby and the refreshments, but why not a fantastic occasion here at Cardiff Arms Park. This is just a bit of a sticky period in the match at the moment. It was a frenetic start. We knew it would dip at some point.
Yeah, and it has been all Cardiff. You know, we just haven't been able to finish, which is a real shame so far. You know, there's still plenty of time left, and there's not a great exit from them. So hopefully we can put some more pressure on in this lineup.
Short numbers, as you'd expect, given that one of their main jumpers, Boloko, is currently off the pitch. Oh, well taken there Gareth Ansell goes up, and now Cardiff University can make their way back towards the Archers 22. Some hefty clears there. Oh, that's been ripped. Magic play there from the Archers to get the ball back. And now they look to put some width on it. There could be numbers here. Switching inside, and a desperate tackle. Well, we were just talking about the game hitting a bit of a lull. All of a sudden it's been sparked back to life. 64 minutes gone. Advantage for the knock-on. That'll be advantage over with the crossfield kick that drifts into touch. James Davis not quite on target on that occasion.
Yeah, it's great work from the Cardiff forward pack intercepting that line out. But, you know, unfortunately we just can't keep the ball at the moment. That being said, I can't remember the last time Cardiff Met were in our half. So, you know, we're clearly doing something right. We just need to find that finish article.
Here's Jack Fielding, the replacement hooker. Again, shortened numbers. And no opposition this time from Cardiff University. But despite the no opposition, it isn't in straight. This is your 10-minute warning, by the way, Charlie. You are choosing the Yoti man of the match. Can be from either team on 75 minutes. Give us, tease us. Don't tell us who it is straight away. But on 75 minutes, we'll be asking you to select the Yoti man of the match.
Well, I think from the Cardiff side so far, the likely candidates are Cam Lewis for that lovely little offload to the try, and obviously Roger Rawls played really well. But looking at the Cardiff Met side, Benjamin on the wing is on the wing. Yeah, fullback. That's right. I think he's been really good, especially defensively. And Jack Arthur as well. He's done a lot of the basic stuff really well. I think he's cleared rucks pretty quickly.
Second rower in selecting second rower as potential man of the match.
It's the most important position on the field.
Here come Cardiff University, desperate for a score. 15 minutes to go. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Not the most high-scoring match of the season, but one of the most entertaining. There's Johan Davis. Unlucky in the opposite corner a few minutes ago. Cardiff Met still down to 14. Cardiff Met not really troubled the try line during this period of play. A little bit of dancing there from Will Gibson as he's picked up and put back down again. Penalty here. Gone quickly from the scrum half, putting width on it early. Here's Gareth Ansell into the 22, frees the hands to Johan Davis, gets inside one, inside two, and that's a marvellous finish. Johan Davis unlucky on the right hand side, but on target on the left. It's game on here at the Arms Park. Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 12.
Yeah, that's absolutely lovely. Just what Cardiff needed. Brilliant play here from, it's not going to show the replay, but brilliant play from Owen to take the quick tap. A lot of Met players retreating. Lovely little show and no-go from Gareth. And Johan does really well to finish it. He's got 3-4 boys on him. He's got no right to get that ball down, but he does. That's a real good piece of skill, that. Game on.
Well, we're going to have a good look at this. It was this angle that put the Luke Northmore rumour to bed. Johan Davis, so much to do there. And no doubt about that grounding.
Yeah, Gareth Ansell does really well to fix the number 14, Andrew Nurse, really well there, which opened up that space for Johan.
The kick drifts wide. And the score remains Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 12. Doesn't change a great deal. They needed 3 scores regardless. "13 minutes to go, 2 tries required." And Cardiff Met have been on the back foot ever since they opened the scoring in this second half. Beloka will be back on the pitch very shortly. But from the Cardiff University perspective, very important that they at least got something from that period where they had a one-man advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Those periods are really key. And I remember a couple of weeks ago up in Northumbria, we were down to 13 men and Northumbria failed to capitalise on it, and it nearly had a significant effect on the game. So the fact that we've managed to score with that little bit of advantage is really good. We just need to keep it on now.
Well, the chip over the top there from James Davis. It's that maverick that you talked about, the referee bringing them back for a high tackle. It's Owen Davis who takes Cardiff University back up to halfway. Yeah, the crowd definitely getting closer. I'm not sure if they're feeling amorous as the night continues, or they're just getting behind their sides here as Sean O'Brien there, wearing number 22, crunches into the Archers' defensive wall. Cardiff go to the open side. There's Davis, looks to unlock the key. Sean O'Brien. Little dart there, needs to be careful he's not isolated. The scrum half has to add some weight. Got Ben Edwards wearing 16 in the blue scrum cap, takes it on. Short ball there, Freddie Barnes, so real front row changes here for Cardiff University for the final 10 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Carrie Davis still on, wearing number 1, and he takes the carry. Cardiff Uni on the 10-metre line as O'Brien again.
Cardiff seems to be really patient here, keep the ball.
Gone down, the referee's got his arm out for a knock on there. Look from this angle like it had gone backwards.
Yeah,
he's much closer to the action than us.
Yeah, we're on a bit of an angle here, but I certainly look backwards.
10 minutes to go. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Every time the referee blows his whistle, we seem to have a little bit of argy-bargy. This will suit Cardiff Met, because they're 12 points to the good with only 10 minutes on the clock. Russell Bennett now on for them. There's Will Gibson wearing number 22. Joe Jackson is wearing 19. Listen to those spectators banging on the advertising hoardings as well. Minutes of this one remaining. 5 minutes until we get your man of the match, Charlie Stonehill. What have been your thoughts on the 70 minutes so far, both from a Cardiff University perspective but also from a league perspective as well?
From a Cardiff perspective, it's positive. We've played some really good rugby, and you know, I feel sorry for the fans on the right side of the pitch because they haven't seen the ball this half at all really, other than that first try. You know, we've been absolutely dominant. We just haven't really been able to capitalise on all the pressure that we've tried to put on. So, you know, that's pleasing, but also a little bit frustrating to see. From a league perspective, obviously this changes things with Leeds Beckett getting a big win away today, Northumbria getting a big win. So, you know, going into Christmas, we wanted to be at the 15 to 20 point margin.
Well, that one's come out of the side. Has it been hooked? Either way, it's on the Archers' side. But Cardiff have turned this one over. Here's the number 8, Ansell, doing good work towards the 22 again. Dare I say it, he's quite snake-hipped. He manages to miss tackles in that sense, as the front rowers look to put some width on it. Back into the 22 now, and Rodri Wall steps inside. Sean O'Brien offers his support. Wall needs to find the ground, and he does. No one there at the breakdown for Cardiff Met, so Cardiff University can have a good position. 15 metres out, bang in front of the sticks. Dummy from James Davis. Tom Wilson adds some weight. There's Weller. Scrappy stuff. Patience required here for University. Davis has to dig for it. There's Ansell. Works well as a link between forwards and backs, does the Cardiff number 8. Dummy and go from the scrum half and makes a few metres. There's James Davis, finds Rodri Wall. Outside again. Cardiff University will be keen to stay in field here. Now they've got the full width to play with. Weller. Head down from the big second row. James Davis. Advantage coming here for Cardiff University as Ansell trundles forward once again Davis. He's got O'Brien outside him, but has a little dart himself, can't free the hands. Bang in front of the post. All of the options right here for Cardiff University. Dan Kennett makes the tackle, and now we do go back for the advantage. A long advantage there from the referee. And they've gone quickly. Adam Sadbury takes some tackling, does the right winger. Dahl for the line, and it is game on here.
That's an amazing bit of confidence there to, go away from the line out. It's been working well, and just, try something that Met probably weren't expecting. It's paid off really well. This is really exciting going into the last 8 minutes.
Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 17. Tempo here. Owen Davis goes quickly. Sadbury with the carry. No idea how he's made so many metres. It was Rodri Wall with the pick-up, was it? No. Tom Wilson dots it down. And it happens in the blink of an eye. Cardiff Met not at the races. This is the composure we talked about.
Yeah, exactly. We've been missing it, to be honest, especially in the first half. But, it's nice to see we've been rewarded with 2 tries for the incredible effort we've put in the second half.
And that was converted as well. 2 conversions, 3 tries for Cardiff University. Another try would not only give them the opportunity to win the match, it would give them the bonus point as well. And Rodri Wall takes the long way round. Cardiff Met have not been at the races in this second half, and they'll be thanking their lucky stars that they got that early try after 5 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, I think James and Owen will know there's not much time left at all.
Can Cardiff University pull this one from the fire? They've never led in this match. They were all square at 7 apiece, and that's a fantastic chase. Cardiff University, make no mistake, they are bang up for this. Cardiff Met back up to their full complement of 15 players.
6. No, 6 left. 6 left.
What a chase that is from Johan Davis. He's had a real stamp on this game since he's come off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe he played for Wales at the weekend for the under-19s along with Cam Lewis, and it's starting to show his real class. And to be able to take someone like Jack Arthur of that size into touch.
Well, knocked on there, and it looked for a second like Cardiff Met were going to break the University hearts. Freddie Barnes makes the tackle. Luke Yendall on for Cardiff Met. And that's gone forward, and now look at this work from Alex Everett.
Yeah, that's what Alex is great at.
Well, this ebbing and flowing, mistake after mistake.
Cardiff will really be kicking themselves after that.
Well, now 24-19 with the wind, and they are going to go for the sticks. This to put it beyond a converted score away. And I think this is a huge mark of respect from Cardiff Metropolitan University. 5 minutes remaining on our clock. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Let's take a look at the incident here. So that ball ripped out of the side. Oh no, it was an excellent clear out there from Carrie Davis, putting the pressure
Alex
on.
is really well here. I'm not too sure what the penalty was for. Oh, he has gone straight off his feet. Yeah.
Well, Carrie Davis from hero to zero. Massive clear out with the first one.
Carrie will be running laps on Friday if this goes over.
Well, you heard it here. It's come from the club chairman. Carrie, you could be in trouble. This the kick that could win it for Cardiff Met. They've kicked one penalty already. All of the conversions. This slightly wind assisted, bang in between halfway and the 22, in front of the sticks. And the flags go up. It's an 8-point ball game. Cardiff Met 27, Cardiff University 19. The scoreboard and the clock on the side of the Archers.
Yeah.
Well, we're back underway here. And even though this one still just about in the balance, Charlie Stonehill, it's time for your Yoti man of the match.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I personally think Cardiff have been a much better side, and I'm trying not to be as least biased as possible, but you know, the majority of the second half we've been in the Cardiff Met 22. We're very unfortunate with that try down on the touchline. There were some really good players from Met. Benjamin at full-back has been really good. Luke Northford's been really good as well. But my man of the match goes to Rodri Wall for his excellent carrying and just making absolute hell for the Cardiff Met defence. So well done, Rod.
Rodri Wall of Cardiff University is the Yoti man of the match. Just as it looked as though Cardiff University were going to snatch something from this match. A couple of penalties and Cardiff Met are back into the 22. And they'll be looking to close this one out, but make no mistake, Cardiff University have given them quite a fright here at the Arms Park. That's been turned over by Cardiff University though. Is there life in this one yet? Monster defence from Cardiff Met, but once again, Johan Davis, huge carry from him, scored the try that got them back into this, and there's still a lot of energy in this Cardiff University side. Another penalty.
Need to be quick here, Cardiff.
Well, even if they're not going to win this match, a converted score, or in fact an unconverted score, would mean 2 bonus points. And with this league as close as it is, both at the top and the bottom, those bonus points could make a huge difference come the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the reason, we've only got 2 wins on the board so far, but we have a lot of bonus points under our belts.
Oh, that one's gone long. Chance could be gone. Rabasniak picks up the pieces. And the ball back with Cardiff Met. This game really ending just like it started. It's frenetic stuff. Neither team really able to put their stamp or their dominance on this one. One minute remaining on our clock. Cardiff Met exactly where they want to be, in the university half with an 8-point lead. Some of the supporters over on the far side doing whatever they can to keep warm. Crunching hit there from Luke Weller.
I imagine they'll just keep this tight here, run the clock down.
Penalty, Cardiff University. Looking to go wide early, the hallmark of their play. There is the man of the match, Rodri Wall. Again stood up, he's lost that one forward. Will Gibson marches back into the Cardiff half. Oh, James Davis looking to cut that one off, and a nice line there from Luke Northmore. Look how dangerous he is. I've no doubt he'll ground this one. A second score of the match for Luke Northmore. This one definitely legitimate, and as the clock approaches 80 minutes, that's the bonus point for the Archers to put this one out of sight.
Yeah, I think Cardiff are just panicking there. They're trying everything they can to get that final score, and unfortunately James just jumped out of the line there and left a big gap for Luke Northmore to go through, and a player of his quality is always going to do well there. Owen should probably do a bit better, same with Adam on those tackles, but fair play to Cardiff Met. They've taken their chances, and that's been the difference.
That is the bonus point for Cardiff Met as well. Bit of a punch in the guts for Cardiff University. 32-19 perhaps doesn't do justice to how close this game has been. In the midst of Luke Northmore dotting that one down, just a little bit of a rumble from both teams. The referee had a chat with his AR. Just frustration boiling over for both teams. Very difficult one for Cardiff to take.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm frustrated watching this. So I'd imagine, having played 80 minutes as well as we have done, to not come away with anything really is really disappointing. And we certainly don't take the stance where we're happy we played well. you know, we're not essentially. We feel we should have won this, I think.
But huge credit to Cardiff Met as they add the extras right on the whistle. They are able to stand tall in the face of adversity. Not for the first time this season. They've spent the majority of the match on the back foot, but come out on the right side of the ledger. A bonus point victory, and they continue their assault on the top of this division. Cardiff University once again slipped to defeat. It is now 2 victories from the last 4, but I think the frustration on the players' faces, and yours alongside me, Charlie Stonehill, speaks volumes. You belong in this division. You just need to find a way to get on the right side of that scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see how much Met are celebrating right now in the stands and on the field. I think they feel like they've got out of jail here. You know, Danny said it earlier on. You know, I completely agree with that. I think Cardiff are going to feel very, very disappointed with this. You know, other than the first try and that second one, Cardiff Met haven't been in the Cardiff half, so it's really disappointing. But you know, that's the difference at the moment. Met are taking their chances, and you know, other teams in this league are taking their chances, and we're getting punished because we're not taking ours. So fair play to Met. You know, they've got the win. Best of luck to them for the rest of the season, and you know, we'll look on to bounce back and finish the year strong.
Full time, Cardiff Met 34, Cardiff University 19. Let's have another look at the tries. Aled Ward getting us underway. It seems a long time ago now. A lot of water under the bridge since that opening score. And at this point, particularly in that set scrum, it did look as though Cardiff Met would be able to use that as an area of dominance. They were perhaps just about on top, but given it was going backwards in those early phases, the University scrum dug in. But we've said it 100 times in this match that it is nigh on impossible for James Davis to do anything about a finish like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that try, like we said, came from Cardiff Met. You know, taking a bit of control in the game and building some really nice phase play that troubled the Cardiff defence a little bit. And that scrum was just the icing on the cake for them.
Well, that was how Cardiff University got back into it. Rodri Wall and Cam Lewis combining immaculately to send Ben Thomas in into the sticks.
Good night all and Merry Christmas!
And the good news is, I think that's the last from the announcer as well, so we might get a little bit of peace and quiet. But another look at that. If you are watching at home, don't switch off just yet, because we are going to be presenting the Yoti Man of the Match Award to Rodri Wall, and hearing from the winning coach, Danny Milton, as well. Now, this was the controversy, and ultimately the difference in the match. Luke Northmore's first try, and I think that's going to leave a sour taste in the mouth.
Yeah, it is. You know, I don't think the boys would have seen that. They'll see it afterwards, obviously, and I'm sure it will do the rounds on social media, but we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. That came from a little bit of poor discipline.
Just after half-time, the perfect start for the Archers. Their first visit into the Cardiff 22. Visits were few and far between, but they did manage to make them count, and to be honest, that was probably a little bit too easy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, our forwards could probably work a little bit harder to get on the far side there. But you know, very well played from Met. You know, sticking to what they know.
This was Johan Davis going for the corner. Tom Benjamin pretty much doing the only thing he could in making the tackle, because Johan Davis was odds on to score there. The referee deciding that just a knock on, but he made up for it with this finish. Wonderful work there from the number 8, Gareth Ansell, and with a lot to do, he dragged Cardiff University back into the game there.
Yeah, that was a real turning point in the game. You know, I think this is at the point where Boloko was off, so it was really good we capitalised on having an extra man. Gareth, like I said, did really, really well to fix that winger, which gave Johan the space to score that try. But you know, he did have a really tough task to do, but he still managed to do it.
An injection of tempo there, quick thinking from the scrum half, and it was a finish from the captain, Tom Wilson.
Yeah, Oz did that really well today actually at scrum half, looking for that tap and go. I think he did it 2 or 3 times, and you know, it proved really beneficial, and good to see Wilson, the captain, getting over the line there.
And this was the final score. Frenetic period of play. There was Alex Everett. Oh, be careful, Charlie, or he'll be keeping that second row jersey for himself when you're back to fitness. Lovely bit of footwork there though, and a wonderful line from Luke Northmore. James Davis just gambled, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's that stage in the game, this last play, we're looking for anything we can. You know, that's fully respect him for doing it. You know, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But like I said, you can't expect to give Luke Northmore that much space and not capitalise on it.
And that is all she wrote. Cardiff Met 34, Cardiff University 19. We'll be getting some post-match reaction from the man of the match, Rodri Wall, and the winning coach, Danny Milton. But in the meantime, enjoy some highlights from Nottingham Trent versus Durham.
EM Kickoff coming to you live.
Thank you.
Ball spurts out. They continue to go open, eking the centimetres out.
Hand up.
Again, they're chopped. It's another effort. Closer this time. They just can't find a way through. Huge defence of Durham.
Use it!
They try and spoil.
Durham defending this well, keeping really tight to get the body heights low.
They think they've scored. The referee disagrees, they're still short. But finally, they dive across after 10, 15 efforts. The man who's been taking the ball at the front, securing the platform for that drive, Scott Hall, gets across. It was simple as they come. Everybody knew their role. And Scott Hall opens the scoring, and it's been a promising opening 10 for Nottingham Trent.
They will be dangerous. They look pretty good in their first attacking set, and they get the ball back here.
Well, that's an error from the kickoff, and it spills out wide to that man, Ben Stevenson, who replies immediately. The returning Falcons soaring down the left flank to present an equalising chance for Rawston Rudd from the tee. Trent with the bit between their teeth here. Durham have reorganised well. Big hits from fouls, upsets the play, and here's a chance now, fly hack through by Fitzharding. It's fancy footwork. Is he first to the ball? The referee calls time on the play to consult with his touchline. Fitzharding flying through. We've got the perfect view in the house. Oh, that is a tight one to call, but the referee has awarded it. Harry. Morgan finds Williams through the gap, who feeds inside to Caetano Branco, and he gets Nottingham Trent right back into this fixture with 2 minutes gone of the second half.
Yeah, real change in tactic from Trent right at the start of the second half. I don't think they went off the top once from the line out in the first half. Straight off it there with dangerous runners such as Goebel, Williams, Graham, and try to score a Branco in the back line. You know, it's really pleasing to see that. I think maybe the pitch with the conditions improving the defence those extra milliseconds, and that's all it requires to make a good call to push up out the line.
Freddie Davies hits his man, and Durham promptly put the maul into third gear, into fourth. They're advancing at a rate of knots, 5 metres out. They haven't been destroyed just yet. It breaks up a little bit. The ball's still in Durham hands. They fall just short. The referee's there, marshalling, making sure no infringement. But he's got his arm out. He's spotted something, and Trent are on the rocks here as Durham look to punish them with this free shot. Colin fishes it out. He goes wide, force it, puts on the toe for the crossfield. He finds Lewis, who collects and dots down for his second try.
No hands.
They yielded a try very early, 42 minutes gone only when they crossed to get themselves back in the game in this half. A show and go from Williams, who finds Branco, the try scorer, on his shoulder, who feeds Harry Graham, and it is game on right here at Lady Bay. Who's just come on, a line out impresario. They go to Hughes. Trent don't commit, now they've committed. Now Durham can build. There's a Trent player in the way. He's acting as a speed bump. They stomp over his carcass and they still have momentum. Trent are in trouble here. The ball is nestled at the back and they squeeze themselves over. And their gamble has paid off. Durham over the line with a try, a bonus point try, and a try that takes them 7 points into the lead with 2 points to come. Great decision, fantastic execution.
Yeah, very good execution from Durham, especially with Trent deciding just to stand off and not engage with that maul initially, which requires, you know, the forwards some extra decision making.
For a try and a losing bonus, but at the moment they're being suffocated by the Palatinate pack.
They have, and it's really worth Trent attacking the ball here. They've got nothing to lose, and referees are looking really closely at the attacking side in these scenarios, but that looks like it's it.
Well, Ollie Green says that enough is enough, and he puts the laces through it. Durham are victorious at Lady Bay. It is Nottingham Trent 21, Durham University 30 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Full time here at Lady Bay. It's been a cracking game of rugby, but the home side lead with nothing, and Durham take 5 points to the northeast.
Victory there for Durham at Nottingham Trent, but let's bring our concentration back here to Cardiff Arms Park. Cardiff Met 34, Cardiff University 19. Danny Milton, you're the winning coach. The history books will say a bonus point win, but that does not tell the full story.
No, if I'm honest, looking back at a few decisions first half, now I've seen them on the video, and second half Cardiff Uni threw the kitchen sink at us, and they're going to be gutted today because they really deserve something more out of that.
I mean, off the record, I can't say off the record, we're here at the cameras, but you said before the game you were nervous about this one, and watching that Cardiff University side, I can see why.
Yeah, we were nervous, and they're a well-coached side, they're a good side, and they've obviously prepped really well. They've seen the 4 guys in the backfield. They put that there for us from our long kicking game, and they really took it to us today. And like I said, you know, they're going to be gutted because they really should have come away with something more.
Luke Northmore got a couple of tries today. He secured that bonus point for you at the end. I can see by that look on your face. Have you had a chance to see the replay of his first score yet?
Yeah, we've had a look at the video, and it does look like the... We've got away with a lucky one there, and perhaps the referee and the touch judges have made the wrong call on that one. But you know, I'd like to focus on the second try, which was an absolutely fantastic finish, and even with the first one, he's done really well to get there. So unfortunate one from the team of 3 there, but from our point of view, we'll take the bonus point.
Something that you've got a fantastic reputation for is being able to stick in games where you're not on the front foot. Today was a classic example of that. It was almost vintage Cardiff Met.
Well, we've got to give a lot of credit to Ian Gardner, who's come in sort of the last 2 years, and he's made us a really tough side to beat. Defensively, he's done a lot of work, and again, that showed tonight because Cardiff have come at us time and time again, and while they've caught us a little bit more than we would normally do, he's done such a fantastic job with the group of boys. We're really pleased to have him.
Before we leave you go then, it's another bonus point victory for you. Bath have beaten Hartbury for the second time in a couple of weeks. Exeter have won. This league is wide open at both the top and the bottom end.
Yeah, you know, you see Leeds Beckett putting 40 points on Loughborough. It's crazy. Yeah. And every week seems to throw up shock results. What I do know now is, again, another big game next week against Exeter down at Topsham. So we look forward to that.
They come thick and fast. You've got them either side of Christmas, haven't you?
Yeah, so it's going to be... They're a really talented side. You know what they bring. They're really, you know, pragmatic. They really look after the ball well, and we're going to have to up our game even again from this, which is going to be a tough ask, but one we're really looking forward to.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that, and we look forward to watching your progress. Enjoy this evening, Danny.
Thanks, Dave. We'll have a quiet pint.
I'll be on best behaviour. Let's bring Charlie and the man of the match back in. There is some magnanimous shaking of hands there. I tell you what, Rod, you come back in. Oh, it's topsy-turvy. I should have organised this, shouldn't I? You're the man of the match here. Step a little bit closer, Charlie. It was given by Charlie. We'll present you with the medal shortly, but let's talk about the match first. You got a few war wounds on your face. Looked like a tough old 80 minutes there today.
Yeah, it was a tough physical game, obviously. They defended well. We just didn't take our chances. We camped at 22 for about 20 minutes in that second half. Couldn't get anything from it, and they just showed how clinical they were. And that's a step up between the league we were in and the league we're in now.
Do you think that sums up your season, though? You were competitive for so long. You've done it against Cardiff Met, you've done it against Durham, you've done it against Hartpury, you've been on the right side of the ledger against Leeds Beckett and Northumbria. You do belong in this league, and it only seems like a couple of decisions away.
Yeah, completely agree with that. We've obviously started really rockily, then came on, should have beaten Northumbria, well, because I got something away from Northumbria away, should have beaten Durham at home with a last minute error, but apart from that, I think we are thereabouts. It's just those little things, discipline, and yeah, basically just switching off at the wrong times.
In terms of your personal performance, you'll be getting the medal very shortly. It was attack, it was defence, it was lively from you. Do you feel as though your role in the team is really to drag everyone else along with you? Because it seems like that from your performance on the field this evening.
No, not really. I think we've got 15 boys or 23 boys that really perform every week. It's just those little things how come together as a team. I think on paper we've got 23 that can compete with anyone in this league. It's just the little details now that are separating us between the best and where we are now.
Charlie, there were a lot of great performances from both teams this evening. What was it about Rod's performance in particular that stood out for you to award him the man of the match?
So we mentioned that our back line was probably the strongest it's been, and every time Rod got the ball, he made yards, especially leading to that first try. Managed to fix a few defenders and get the ball away. And defensively he was solid as always, so it was a pretty easy decision. Well, the wrong side of the ledger, but congratulations, you are the Yoti man of the match. We'll leave you get in the warm. Enjoy this evening and the match next week. In fact, Alex, step into our office here, because I would like to say you are the bravest touchline reporter in BUCS Super Rugby, because you've walked up to Alan Wynne-Davies, his team 3 scores behind, to get an opinion. Give us an idea, because we were on the other side of the ground. What was the atmosphere like on the far side? It seemed absolutely bonkers this evening.
It was crazy. The atmosphere was fantastic. I think tonight actually they had 2,500 tickets for this one, so a massive crowd. And it was just great to see so many supporters down here. I mean, Cardiff Met get tons of supporters at Rugby 1 every week. Just a note on the Alan Wynne-Jones interview, actually. He was great, considering they'd just been in Cardiff Met 22 for a good 5 minutes and they'd come away with no points. So I thought he kind of dealt with that one really well. But yeah, the atmosphere down here tonight was brilliant, as always. I think they need more occasions like this, big matches, playing the Cardiff Clash at the Cardiff Arms Park. It adds a lot to, I think, the BUCS Super League Rugby.
It certainly does. Fantastic atmosphere, and thank you very much for getting us the gossip today, because very often we find ourselves isolated in the top, the injury news, the stuff from the coaches. Brilliant job this evening. If you'd like to join the conversation like Alex, Charlie, then join myself and Joe Burns. The Buck Stops here is BUCS Super Rugby's favourite podcast, and we like to put an episode out every week. In fact, we've got the Christmas episode. We're going to be picking our teams of the season so far, so if you too want to get involved too, I recommend that you do. You've been to a lot of the Cardiff Met matches this year. How did this one differ? They really had to dig in today.
They did, and I think it was a very physical game in that first half. A lot of argy-bargy going on as well. Both sides were really up for this game tonight, and Cardiff Met did have to dig in deep. We've seen that a lot from them this season, though. They've managed to grind out the wins when it really matters, and I think that's why now they're top of the table.
And Charlie, it's just the same old story for you, isn't it? As we said to Rod before, you belong in this division, but too many times you're on the wrong side of the ledger. You leave with your heads held high, but ultimately nothing from today's performance.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was really frustrating to watch and commentate on. And I think you can tell from Rod's response there, all the boys are really frustrated. But I mentioned before, this is very much a transitional phase for us. So it's good to see us playing some good rugby. But the difference is at the moment, a team like Cardiff Met, who didn't put in the best performance, still managed to grind out a win. That's the tiny little difference. We just need to have that final bit of composure in the play zone. But it's something we'll work on. There's plenty of positives to take going into the new year with a real strong position to challenge the people above us in this league.
And with the shoulder, when can we expect to see you back in a black and red jersey?
So I'll be smashing the rehab over Christmas. Lots of stretching, lots of rehabilitation exercises, and hopefully, dependent on a scan, I should be back in the new year for the first game back against Bath.
Well, Charlie, Alex, thank you for your company this evening, and thank you all for joining us as well. The Archers on target once again, and they will go into the Christmas period very much in contention for this league. We'll be back on the 30th of January. We hope that you'll join us then. We'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
It was so much easier easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have your phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.